All right, we are going to focus today on Volo, which is one of 3 irregular verbs in your Chapter 7 book. Volo is related to nolo and also related to malo, okay? So let's talk about these. Let's talk about the principal parts. First off, Volo is your first principal part. Notice the macron on the end. Our second principal part is wele. Our third principal part is wolui. Okay? Now, something kind of nice about wolo and these other 2 irregular verbs is that there is no third principal part. No third principal part. And wolo means to want. Okay? Like something that is voluntary. That is something that you want to do. Okay? And then the big thing about wolo is no forms in the passive voice. Okay? So that's why there's no fourth principal part. There's no fourth principal part. Generally, it cannot be a verb that can be passive. Okay? All right, so no passive forms, so that means that we have less forms to write. If you printed this out and you're following along, I would, when you're done, maybe consider cutting this out and putting it in your interactive notebook. Okay? Whenever we have a subjunctive form, you'll notice that it's a little like our sum and possum in the subjunctive, where I put the indicative on one side and the subjunctive on the other. Notice that here on the subjunctive, again, no translation because the translation depends on how it's being used in the sentence. Is it part of a purpose clause or an indirect question? Okay, so when we get to future, notice we're only going to have one. Okay, and just like sum and possum, well, especially like sum and possum, you're really going to see the irregularity in that present indicative side. Okay, so let's go with wolo. Okay, present indicative. So we're going to have wolo, and again a macron over that last o, and we're going to say I want. Okay, we will have wis, okay, which is you want. You'll have wolt, which is he, she, or it wants. Okay. You have volumus, which is we want. Woltis, which is y'all want. And then volunt, which is they want. Okay. All right, so I'm going to switch colors for the subjunctive side because it's kind of fun. All right, so over on the subjunctive side, okay, what we're actually doing is we are in a way taking wele here and dropping the le. Okay, so that's basically what we're doing here. Okay, so we are going to have welem, welis. Notice there's a macron over that I. Welit, welimus, welitis. Okay, and again a macron over the first I here, and welent. Okay, so there's the present, both indicative and subjunctive of wolo. So moving on to imperfect, and I'll switch back to my blue here. All right, so for wolo in the imperfect and also in the future when we get to it, indicative, we're going to treat it like it is a third conjugation verb. Okay, so with the imperfect, that meant if you go back to your notes from last year, when a verb was third, io, or fourth, we had an e in parentheses that we added before the bombas bot. Okay, so we're going to do that here too. Okay, so Our stem is VOL. We're going to add an E with the macron and then bomb. Okay? And so I'm going to say, I used to want. Okay? For second singular, we're going to have wole and then bas, and there's going to be a macron over that A. So this is, you used to want. We will have wole bat, which is he, she, or it used to want. We will have, for first plural, wole bamus. Okay, notice I have two macrons here. We used to want. We will have wole batis. Again, two macrons. Y'all used to want. And then wole bant. And this is going to be they used to want. Okay. For imperfect, remember we always said that we had kind of three translations. You could have also said was or were wanting, or even kept wanting. Okay. And that's for imperfect indicative. Okay. All right. Going over to imperfect subjunctive. Okay. Remember, we take our, I'm going to scroll back up here. We're going to take, let me change my color here. We're going to take all of welle. Okay. We're taking all of that second principal part. Okay. And we're going to add that MST mustis und. Okay. So I have welle. And then I'm going to add M. Okay. Now for second singular, we're going to have welle, we're going to add the macron, and then the S. But for third singular, we're going to do it like we did first singular. Okay, no macrons, and we'll have wellette. Now, for first plural and second plural, we're going to do like we did with second singular. Okay, so we're going to have macrons there over that last E. So we'll have wellemus and welletis. But when we get to third plural, no macron. Okay, so we will have wellent. And again, no translation because it depends on how it's being used in that sentence. Okay, all right, here we go to future. And again, with future, there's no subjunctive, so that was nice. And again, we're going to treat this like it is a third conjugation verb. So we're not going to use bo bis bit, be mis bit is bunt. Okay, those were for first and second conjugation verbs. We're going to use the am, es, et, emus, etis, ent. Okay, and we are going to have some macrons, so make sure you're paying attention to where they are. All right, so our first singular is wollam, and this is I will want. Okay, for second singular, we're going to have woles. Notice there's a macron over that E, and this is you will want. For third singular, we'll have wolette. No macron. Okay? And this is he, she, or it will want. Okay? First plural is wolemus. Okay? Again, macron over that E. So we will want. We will have woletis with a macron over the E. Make that a little better. There we go. And this is y'all will want. And then we will have wolent. Okay? And this is they will want. Okay? So there's present, imperfect, and future of wolo. So we're going to move on to the perfect. Okay? Now for perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect, we're actually going to move to wolo-y. Okay? And So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to write that down a little further so that we have that to use. Okay, so from this point on, we are using Wolo-we. Okay, and it looks just like that. That's the third principal part. Okay, it is also the perfect active indicative first singular form. So we're going to put that right here, Wolo-we. And we're going to just say, I wanted. Okay. Now, to get our stem, we're going to take Wolo-we, we're going to drop the I. Okay. So my stem is Wolo. Okay. And we're going to add isti here. Notice there's a macron on that last I for second singular. And we're going to just say you wanted. Okay. We're going to have for third singular, Wolo-wit, no macron. This is he, she, or it wanted. All right, over to first plural. We have Wolo-wimos, we wanted. We will have Wolo-istis for second plural, y'all wanted. And then we will have Wolo-erunt for third plural, and this is going to be they wanted. Now, before I go over to the subjunctive, for the perfect, we could have also said has or have wanted. Wanted, there we go. We could have also say did want. Okay, I just used the simple past there. Okay, all right. So for subjunctive, again, we're going to take Wolo, but now we're adding those perfect subjunctive active endings. So we have Wolo-erim. We will have Wolo-eris for second singular. We will have Wolo-erit for third singular. Wolo-erimos for first plural. Wolo-eritis for second plural. And Wolo-erint for third plural. And I just noticed that I didn't make it a different color, and I'm not going to go back and redo it, so we will just have to suck it up, buttercups. So here are our perfect of indicative and subjunctives of Wolo. Okay, so we're going to move on to pluperfect. And again, we're using Wolo-we here, okay? But we are dropping that I, okay? So for the pluperfect indicative, we're going to have Wolo-eram. And this is I had wanted, okay? For second person singular pluperfect, we'll have Wolo-eras. Okay, and we're going to have a macron over that A. So this is you had wanted. We will have Wolo-erat for third singular. And this is he, she, or it had wanted. For first plural, we will have Wolo-eramus. Okay, we're going to have a macron over that A. And this is going to be we had wanted. We will have, for second plural, Wolo-eratis. And again, macron over that A. And this is y'all had wanted. And then Wolo-erant for third plural. And it's they had wanted. Okay. Now, I'll remember to change my colors this time. Okay. So we are still going to take Wolo over here. Okay. For the pluperfect subjunctive. Okay. We're going to take Wolo. We are adding that ISSE that makes it a perfect active infinitive. Remember, that is our base here. and then we're going to add M. So we have Woluwase. And again, I'm taking Woluwase, and I'm going to add S, and now there's a macron over the E. Okay, we'll have Woluwaset. We will have Woluisemus, and again, macron over that E. We will have Woluisetis, again, macron over the E, and then Woluisent. Okay, no macron over the E. Okay, so now we're moving on to future perfect. Okay, and again, still using, I'll put it off to the side, Wolu here. Okay, Wolu is our stem. Okay, and so we're going to have Woluero with a macron over that last O. And this is I will have wanted. Okay. For second singular, we will have Wolueris. Okay, no macrons there. And so this is you will have wanted. Woluerit is he, she, or it will have wanted. Okay. On the plural side, Woluerimus, and this is we will have wanted. Wolueritis, y'all will have wanted. And then Woluerint, whoops, let's fix that. Okay, here we go. Woluerint, not erit, erint. And so this is they will have wanted. Okay. So that is the forms of Wolo in both the indicative and the subjunctive. Okay. Again, if you printed these out to write on, I would cut and paste and put them into your interactive notebook. If you're typing them, then that's fine as well. Make sure that you get those macrons in there. If you need any help, make sure you email me.